a meeting with the community leaders. Let's cross live to a briefing that he's giving right now.
That's why we had our meeting from 8:30 this morning up to now to just explain in great detail what those issues are, what the history of those issues are that they were raising, and what they have tried to do in various platforms to raise these issues. I have received the memorandum and signed that I received it from the committee today. A lot of the issues that are in the memorandum have to do with what is really an emergency here in Alexandra. Yes, there are historical issues, the Alexandra Renewal Project, which as the provincial government, we're now going to get a full audit of the Alexandra Renewal Project. We will get it to be audited by the Office of the Auditor General in terms of what did it deliver. We will make sure that a full audit is done of the budget that was allocated by the City of Johannesburg and provincial government, what was delivered through the Alexandra Renewal Project. There are some historical issues which will come out in the audit of the report. But the most urgent issue, what has really irked the community of Alexandra, is the developments that have been taking place here. Every piece of land in Alexandra is being illegally invaded, and structures are being set up. It's gone now even to schools. Even the schools, at the back of our schools, land, every available land, every piece of land gets invaded, and structures are being built there. The community has said to me they have made representation a few times to the City of Johannesburg just to come and act on bylaw enforcement. People are building illegal structures on the properties. One of the important things to understand is that Alexandra has old property owners, people who under apartheid, the land was taken away from them, and these are old property owners who bought here more than a century ago, and their descendants. These structures, they are illegal structures being set up on these properties. There is a court order that the Property Owners Association has obtained, but illegal structures are coming up everywhere in Alexandra. As I say now, these illegal structures are also being put up in schools. There's two high schools where there are illegal structures, Minerva High School and Kwabegilanga. This is a matter of great concern. The people of Alexandra are saying, yes, there are important service delivery issues that must be dealt with by the relevant authorities. The city sewer is flowing throughout Alexandra. There's no refuse removal. There used to be refuse removal once on a daily basis in Alexandra. They now say up to more than 7 days pass without refuse removal. But these service delivery issues are overshadowed by one thing and one thing only, and that is illegal structures are coming up everywhere. The community here has said to me that they have been raising this matter, that the law enforcement agencies, and I want to say law enforcement agencies in their totality, should deal with this issue. I don't want just to focus on the City of Johannesburg's JMPD, the Metro Police. I want to say that this issue, that even the place we are in, the community is concerned, even here, just this field, they say tomorrow we must wake up here and find, unless there's urgent action to stop the construction, the illegal occupation of land and people building everywhere, they say we will end up with Alexandra having no space. And this is a major, major hazard. In order to deal with this, we have to be very decisive. It has to be something that's dealt with urgently, because if we don't deal with this issue, then the burden of decongesting Alexandra will become even fourfold. Decongesting Alexandra and building it afresh is what the objective of the Alexandra Renewal Project was about. There are a lot of people who had to be taken out of Alexandra, taken to Bramfisherville, others taken to Diepsloot, as part of what the Alexandra renewal project was about, building new structures. There are many other issues that this morning I don't want to be blaming any sphere of government. It's not my preoccupation as the Premier. Those who want to continue blaming others, because I am sure when we sit down we will see who is not doing what. And I am very sure that the city of Johannesburg has to do its job. The provincial government has to do its job. There are houses built here by the provincial government. Some of them are illegally occupied as well. So getting those who have occupied these houses illegally out of those houses so that they get given to the legitimate beneficiaries, many of whom live in old Alexandra, keep saying that we have been waiting for houses. That's something that also has to be done. But I know the President will be in Alexandra, and I have assured the committee that I am going to brief the President on all their issues. And one thing the people of Alexandra say can't be delayed. They say not one more day. We should stop this construction of illegal structures. And this is done also by people who have lots of money. People are building structures right up to the verge of the Jokskei River. Structures are being put up there, and these structures are rented out. And the committee says to me, the people who are doing this are not even from Alexandra. This is happening in every part of Alexandra, in the east and even in the north, in Marlborough, where we have a settled community there. People, every little piece of land is getting occupied. People are putting up structures, and these are people who have money. They go and they rent those structures out to make more money. This is lawlessness, and it can't be allowed. I have appealed to the committee, the shutdown committee, that they should continue to ensure that the community of Alexandra protest peacefully, because we don't want violence, we don't want any burning down of buildings or any violence in our communities here. But they rightfully have a voice, and they should speak out about the issues that are worrying them. I am very happy that we have had this meeting. I will be able to brief the President over the next few hours about the issue. So when the President comes here on Thursday, he will be able to speak very clearly to some of these issues. So there are historical issues that are around the Alexandra Renewal Project, and I want to dismiss any notion that national government put billions of rands into the Alexandra Renewal Project. The Alexandra Renewal Project was funded by the city of Johannesburg and the provincial government. The provincial government will be able to demonstrate every budget that we put into the Alexandra Renewal Project. What did we do in this area? We built schools, we built clinics, and we built houses. We will be able to demonstrate that. And I would also expect that the city of Johannesburg will also be able to demonstrate how much money they put into the Alexandra Renewal Project and account for every cent that was spent. So this notion that former President Thabo Mbeki put billions of rands into Alexandra Renewal Project is not true. It has got no fact. I am very concerned myself, knowing Alexandra very well, having spent a number of years here in Alexandra as a young activist. I'm very concerned that every part of Alex is people are putting up illegal structures everywhere, and this is not. It's going to make it very, very difficult to actually develop Alexandra. So what is the committee saying? Says those who are involved in putting up these structures and illegally invading land, government must act, including demolishing these structures. I mean, that's what the committee says to me, to send a strong message that we will not allow lawlessness. We must take action to ensure that people know that there shall be action and the law shall be enforced. We have caught interdicts on this land. We have caught interdicts also around the structures that are being put up here, but this is just being ignored. And there's no one taking responsibility to enforce these caught interdicts. So that's the long and short of my briefing. I have a full memorandum that Mayor Mashava did not want to receive. I have this full memorandum. It has detailed everything that the community here is concerned about. But we would like to act as the whole of government. When there is a problem in the community, we must act as the whole of government. And that's why I say that we're going to get the city to be able to say, what money have you put into Alexandra Renewal Project? And then where are these projects that you have been able to do? But we can't allow, suddenly, people just think that Alexandra is the playground of criminals. People who can just go everywhere and every piece of land is invaded. They put up their structures here and then they build and then hire those out to whoever is willing to pay. And they're paying a top rent for this. That's what the committee says. People are paying top rent for the structures that are being put here illegally, including right on the bank of the Jokskei River. I've gone there to see a building there that's a huge building. On a land, that piece of land belongs to the city of Johannesburg. And there's no action that is being taken to stop that. But we will make sure that government as a whole must act with immediate effect to stop land invasions, but also to pay attention to service delivery issues. Refuse must be picked, sort out the sewer problems, the housing issues. That's why I have the MEC for human settlements here. We've got flats here that have not been allocated, that are illegally occupied. And there are also allegations that some of the houses that are occupied here is by people who are not the appropriate beneficiaries. The MEC is doing a full audit of that. But the people of Alexandra say to us, the first thing that must happen, let all the construction of illegal structures stop. And this is by law enforcement. So, and by law enforcement is the role of a city in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. By law enforcement is the role of the city. But I don't think we are going to sit back if the city does not want to enforce bylaws. We are not going to sit back and say the people of Alexandra must take the law into their own hands. Otherwise, there's going to be a problem. If they start enforcing bylaws themselves because the state is not there will be problems. We don't want the people of Alexandra to do so. So we are going to look into what we are empowered to do as the provincial government to come in this space of enforcing bylaws. If the city of Johannesburg is not interested because they want to blame the ANC, I am not interested in that. I am here to make sure that we have the community here seeing that when they call on us to address the issues, we address those issues. Thank you very much. You want the spokesperson of the committee to say something?
Yeah, as the committee of shutdown, we actually welcome the visit by the Premier today, and we note with interest the issues that we raised with the Premier. We've handed out our issues to the Premier. We hope something will be done regarding our issues. For now, regarding the shutdown movement, we are carrying on with the peaceful protest up until Thursday when the President visits Alexandra. From then on, we'll deliberate with our community members in terms of going forward. Currently, that's where we are. From now on, we'll be going back to our community, updating them on the visit from the Premier, and then we'll take it forward.
Are you still expecting Mayor Mashaba to address it?
Look, I think it's pointless for the Mayor to say he will visit us now when we've been calling him all along. So he failed, General. He showed that he doesn't care about people of Alex. So why come now?
I have a question for Premier Makhura, from PNCA.
Yes.
How much blame is the ANC shouldering on the state of Alexandra? Are you going to take any blame at all?
Well, you listened to Ms. Lindelo very well. I said that the two spheres of government, there are issues that they must deal with. And I don't want any excuses. If it's the issues of houses that were built and were not handed over, it is our responsibility, the Human Settlements Department of the province responsibility to deal with that problem. If people say that there are houses that are illegally occupied and nothing was done about it, it's the responsibility of the province to deal with that issue. So every sphere of government must take responsibility for the things they are supposed to fix that the people of Alexandra want fixed.
It's the ANC, though, that is in power and is in these departments. So how much blame is the ANC going to take for the state of Alexandra and a number of other townships that look like Alexandra still 2 decades after democracy?
I want to say to you that speaking on behalf of the Guateng provincial government, I am satisfied that with regard to the Alexandra renewal project and its original intentions, a lot of work was done by both the city of Johannesburg and the Guateng provincial government on the Alexandra renewal project. And I'm satisfied that all the other things we need to do we must continue to decongest Alexandra, but we also have to respect the rights of the Alexandra property owners. You can't do anything in mainland Alexandra. If the property owners say to you, you can't build here, you can't build here. These are legitimate property owners. If they say to you, they have interdicted provincial government in 2012. If they say, this is our land, we need to have a conversation with government on what happens here. If they say you can't build this, you can't build that, a respectful government will not do that. So it is important that my team in the office of the Premier has been having discussions with the property owners of Alexandra around the interdict that was put in place in 2012. The second thing, very important, that there was a statement of intent between the city of Johannesburg, provincial government, and the community of Alexandra, which was signed in 2016. That statement of intent cannot be implemented on the side of the city, but on the side of the provincial government, we have been following up on those issues. So any important issue that the provincial government is responsible for, we will not run away and say this is not our responsibility. Government works in accordance with what authority do you have on what issues, and we will continue to do that here in Alexandra. Where we have not been able to do certain things as the provincial government, we will say that is our responsibility. We have not been able to do it, and then this is what we are going to do. But any attempt which I have witnessed in the last few days is cheap attempt. Any attempt to just play the ball, throw this, and for people to refuse to take responsibility, to throw this at another party or another sphere of government, is not going to help the people of Alexandra. I am saying the city must do what the law says is the responsibility of the city, and the province must do what the law says is the responsibility of the province. And that's why I'm here.
Dr. Makhura,
I am here.
Dr. Makhura, I have a question. Sorry. Now from Jacaranda FM.
Yes.
Dr. Makhura, the last time we had a meeting with the NEC, he said 50% of money that was budgeted for bulk infrastructure was sent back, meaning that money, the city sent the money back to I don't know if MEC, you can answer.
Okay, don't ask me, ask the MEC.
Yeah, but MEC, a certain amount of money was set for bulk infrastructure in Gauteng, and it was sent back to the government. How much of that money was supposed to be for Alex, and how much did they send back to the provincial offices?
Well, it's common cause that the metropolitan municipalities in the country, broadly, except Amatol, I think, all of them have been underspending on what is called Urban Settlement Development Grant. Now, Urban Settlement Development Grant is a grant that is top sliced from Human Settlement Development Grant. It's a housing budget. It's money meant to be invested in infrastructure so as to facilitate housing to be constructed. Now, when a municipality underspends on USDG, the Provincial Department of Human Settlement will follow that they do not spend, in terms of construction of houses. So that has been the case in the city of Johannesburg, as it is in many metropolitan municipalities. You have had the Minister of Finance actually saying that the issue of under-expenditure by municipalities on critical infrastructure is not going to be tolerated any further. So it's a common cause that municipalities have not been spending efficiently with regard to Urban Settlement Development Grant, including USDG as it is called, to facilitate human settlement. So it's a common cause. It's really a fact. There has been money that has been returned to Treasury because municipalities are simply not spending on what they're supposed to be spending money on.
Mayor, just lastly, there's an allegation that this is purely campaigning, electioneering, and that you guys just arrived here because we're like almost 20 days away from elections. Are you guys just campaigning?
I think that question is a very important question. So somebody who knows, I've been to Alexandra here twice in my capacity as the Premier. I've been to Alexandra twice, including having held Nteresano here with the community. The issues that the community is raising here about the illegal land invasion and buildings that are built without following bylaws and disregard, a total breakdown of law and order, disregard of bylaws here. It's an issue they raised with me in 2017. The community raised this issue with me in 2017, including the councillor saying they are raising it in the city of Johannesburg again and again because the rightful authority to enforce bylaws. People here just build without applying for planning approvals. So all those issues the community has raised with me before, and I kept saying to them, but this is the responsibility of the city. So if you think that these are matters that just came here, unfortunately you don't go with us everywhere we go. I'm not coming to Alexandra for the first time today. In February I was here in Alexandra. Last year in 2018 I was in Alexandra. In 2017 I was in Alexandra. So we come to Alexandra all the time. And the one thing we have particularly been irked by is this issue that there are houses built by the provincial government and they are occupied by people who are not supposed to be in those houses. That's what I've been following up on with the long processes that we must obtain, the court interdict, but the mushrooming of structures that are just being built every day here. We are absolutely certain that this is a phenomenon that particularly has increased in 2018, but the community here is 16, 17, but they're saying in the last month here in Alexandra, it's like people are arriving every day just looking for every piece of land. I am saying to you, it has nothing to do with elections, unless if you say we must ignore like others are doing. If you say to me, Premier, ignore the issues being raised by the people of Alexandra now because elections are around the corner, come back to them after the elections. I don't know what the people of Alexandra are going to say if that's what the suggestion of those who say this is just driven by elections. Any accusation of the ANC is just malicious. It's a malicious accusation. The ANC exists in every community, not just in Gauteng, but across South Africa. And the policy of the ANC is that if there are community problems, you as the ANC councillors and ANC members, you must be the ones who raise those issues. And so when the ANC, if there's an accusation that this was sparked by this memorandum I'm being given today was first submitted on the 21st of February. Was first submitted to the city on the 21st of February.
Prior to the memorandum, there were court interdicts which were instituted for the demolition of the illegal structures. So if basically journalists need to go into the records maybe of COG to get access to those court interdicts, and maybe also get the date on which those court interdicts were instituted to see that this is not an opportunistic action.
So the court interdicts, when you're talking about illegal structures, are you talking about the people that are building to rent or the other side of the Jackson River where it's close to Silvertown? Which one are you talking about?
No, all over LX, wherever there's empty spaces, people illegally invade those spaces. Yeah. So court interdicts, there was a court interdicts instituted by the property owners within LX, within old LX. And then there were also court interdicts instituted by the High Court for areas such as your Strait, like all those other areas. So now, basically, when the court interdicts needed to be dealt with, they were blocked within council, basically. So I would say that journalists should need to also maybe approach other councillors within Alexandra and also find out in terms of where the issues really started, or the mushrooming of complaints around the issues of illegal structures and all that. And I assure you, it's complaints that actually basically started from the past 2 to 3 years.
And even the Indian community in Marlborough themselves also approached the court regarding the issue of illegal structures. So perhaps let us leave politicians and politics. We, as the totally shut down, we will remain as the members of the community. We will be remaining championing the issues of service delivery. Let me make an example. At Ward 109 at Marlborough, due to the pressure of the Indian community in that particular site, the ward councillor has resigned. He's a DA councillor, Councillor Smith. It's because of he was insulted by the community of that particular area because of their property value were going down. So it's not a matter of politicking. If it was for a matter of, he was not going to resign, but because of the pressure that he got from the society there, that is why the councillor even himself has decided to withdraw.
Okay. This is clearly a housing crisis. So where are these people supposed to go?
It's not a housing crisis.
But what I'm saying is that
the thing is you
we have gone.
You narrate.
We have spoken. We went. I went to both sides. I know Mr. Mavunda knows I've been following him as well. And I went to the other side of the other people who then claim that for the past, as you said, from 2016 up until now, they've had their houses demolished twice, and now this is the third building attempt. They're saying that they have been evicted from the houses from Extension 7. They have the C forms that they were given. However, upon arrival to occupy those houses, there are people who are already living inside of them, which is why I'm saying it is a housing crisis, because then that means where do they go?
Did you hear what I said about what needs to be done?
If you can clarify then, please.
Okay, yeah, that's the problem. Because I must repeat and then we have to leave. I have explained there are issues related to houses that we have built that are illegally occupied, and the provincial government is taking action with regard. The MEC, Uhuru Muilwa, who is here, has been following up on the process, because in South Africa people have to be evicted legally. Even if people have done illegal things, we must make sure that there's appropriate action, and that's why we have this set of interdicts, court interdicts that are there will enable us to do that. So let me first also just say that I know there's been lots of issues about the DA member came to open a case here about alleging that there are ANC councillors instigating the community. I want to say that I think the DA has run out of ideas really about what to do. Instead of us focusing on what the key issues that must be addressed by all spheres of government in Alexandra, we mustn't be posturing. That's posturing. We need the mayor of Johannesburg to just not take the people of Alexandra for granted. And I am willing to work with the mayor of Johannesburg. I'm forced by the dispensation in our constitutional dispensation that we have to work together. I'm willing to work with him and to come and fix the issues of Alex. He needs to ensure he enforces bylaws. He must respond to the issues here that are raised about basic service delivery. And the provincial government is responsible for housing delivery together with the city. They get the urban settlement grant, which is no small amount, which all the time money gets sent back to National Treasury. If you want politics, we will not come back and deal with the issues faced by the people of Alexandra. My energy is to ensure we pull the mayor along. We know that he doesn't like going where it is hot, but I am going to pull him along. I hope I will have the energy to pull him along. I see in Twitter he says he is willing to come, but it's only in Twitter. I will pull him along to come and address all the issues that we have to deal with here. We can't be playing around the lives of our people. But the most urgent thing here that the committee says we need to stop is illegal land invasion and the illegal building of structures without following proper bylaws. That's the most urgent thing that needs to be stopped. And when the community sees that that one has stopped, they can begin to believe that other things shall be dealt with. That's why we need the Johannesburg Metro Police, the South African Police Service, to ensure that they stop unlawful invasion of land, including land in our schools. We need that to stop with immediate effect. It's not going to stop because people run to police station to just trivialize. This thing of opening cases against our councillors is to trivialize the issue. I don't want us to be busy with that. I can as well resort to another gimmick, political gimmick, but the political gimmicks will not solve the problem of Alexandra. They can run anywhere. The reality is that we must work together. Provincial government and the city of Johannesburg must work together to address the issues. It's not just in Alexandra, these issues that we're coming across. It's everywhere, but we are going to deal with them. Thank you very much.
Okay, just a last question to the MEC. MEC, thanks so much. This is Marageta from the SABC. MEC, obviously we have been speaking to a lot of people, and including families that have been living in this shed.
Right, we're coming out of Alexandra, the Premier of Guateng David Makhura there after a meeting with the a total shutdown committee, and saying that the bylaw enforcement is the role of the city, which is what Mr. Mashaba should have come through for. But if the city doesn't want to respond, we'll intervene. We'll see how that story pans out. Well, President Cyril Ramaphosa is visiting the passenger rail